In this video, I will show you how to create this animation from start to finish using the add-on ANIMAX 2.0. Let's start with the fracturing part. The models that we are going to use are downloaded from Sketchfab, provided by the Cleveland Museum of Art. The models are 100% free. You will find their link in the description. We can bring the models to Blender using the GLTF2 importer with the default settings. As you can see, the model is not well optimized to be used in Blender. It's parented to multiple empties and separated to multiple parts. First, I will select all the mesh objects while making sure that one of them is the active object. Then I will press Alt-J to join them together. Then I will press Alt-P. Then I will choose Clear and Keep Transformation to clear the parent. Then I will delete the empties. Next, I will set the origin to geometry, because it's very important for the fracturing operation. Then I will press Alt-G to reset the location of the object. This mesh is very dense, so I will go to Edit Mode and press M. Then select by Distance to get rid of the overlapping vertices. Next, I will add a Decimate modifier. Then I will reduce the poly count to 15%. Actually, we can go lower to 10% because we are not losing many details. Then I will apply the modifier. And now the poly count is reasonable. In my experience, anything below 100K is acceptable. The lower the better, otherwise the fracturing operation will be very slow. I want to apply a second material for the interior faces. I can add the material from here. But since I have the add-on Easy PBR installed, I will load the material Concrete 24 as a new material. Then I will disconnect the displacement. The material is from Ambient CG. And the add-on Easy PBR is one of our free add-ons. You will find the links in the description. Next, we need to fix the transform of the object. The dimensions are very big, so I will scale down the object. And it's very important to set the rotation mode to XYZ Euler. Next, I will press Ctrl-A and apply all transforms. Now the object is ready for the fracturing. I will use the mesh slicing feature. In the mesh input, I will select the object. Then I will load the random XYZ preset. Then execute the cutting. It should take few seconds with this mesh. In the mesh output, we can check the number of shards. It's a little bit high. I'm aiming for a number between 800 and 1000. First, I will set the material to 1, because I want the second material to be applied to the interior faces. And to reduce the number of shards, I will increase the global offset. Then execute again. Now, the number of shards is 912, which is good. And we have the second material applied. But we have a problem, which is the stretching on the textures. I will go to Edit Mode. Then select an edge and press Ctrl-L to select the connected parts. Then I will press Shift-H to hide everything else. Now the problem is clear. To fix it, we need to change the projection of the image textures to box. Since I'm using Easy PBR, I will select the node group. Then I will use this operator to change the projection of all the image textures from flat to box. And finally, I will change the texture coordinates to object. Then I will press Alt-H to unhide everything. And back to object mode. Now I will apply the fracturing result. I will give the new collection a name, then press OK. Now all the shards are converted to individual objects inside a new collection, ready to be animated. I will exclude the collection and add a new item of the type collection. Then I will select the new collection from the drop-down menu and copy its name. Next, I will import the second model and follow the same steps as before. I will use the same concrete material for the interior faces. In the mesh input, I will select the new model, then execute the cutting. The number of shards is very low. So, I will increase the number of cutters to 15 for all the axes. Then execute again. Now we have 920 shards, which is good. So I will apply the result, just like the previous model. Now, let's animate these objects. I will start by adding a new orbit effect. And I will add an empty to serve as the center of rotation. In the center object field, I will select the empty. And I will set the Z angle to 360 degrees. And we have this animation. I will disable viewport denoising to see better what we are doing. Next, I will change the direction of offset to Z and enable invert direction. And we have this animation. Before we proceed, let's improve the lighting to see better what we are doing. I will use our free add-on Easy HDRI. And the HDR image is from Polyhaven. You will find their links in the description. And finally, I will enable ambient occlusion. Next, I will increase the duration to 120 frames. And I will change the interpolation to ease in out. Next, I will add a transform effect to add some random rotation. Then I will synchronize it with the orbit effect. And I will set the random rotation to 360 degrees for all the axes. And I will change the interpolation to ping pong, because I want the objects to go back to their original rotation. Finally, I will add a little bit of random location. It's looking good already. Next, I will add a noise effect to add more random location. Its timing and interpolation will be the same as the previous effect. And you can pause the video to copy the rest of the parameters. The animation is pretty much done. We only need to fade out the objects. So I will add another transform effect. And synchronize it with the first effect. Then I will enable fade out. And this is the final animation. Now I will copy all the effects from this item. Then I will fix the rotation and scale of the object, while trying to make them similar in size. Then I will paste the copied effects to the second item. The only thing that we need to change is the fading animation. We will make the model fade in instead of fading out. To do so, we need just to change the interpolation of the fading effect to invert, so that the fading animation will play in reverse. Then I will unhide the other item. And we have this nice animation that looks like one model transformed to the other. Now, it's just a matter of adjusting the timing to make the animation more believable. We can add another model. And to transition from the second model to the new model, we will follow the same steps as before. I will select the item of the second model. Then copy all the effects. Then I will paste all the effects to the new item. I will only change the start frame of the first effect to 170. Then I will paste the same effects to the second model and change the first frame of the orbit effect to 170. And we need to change the interpolation to linear, because we want the model to fade out this time. And we will get this animation. Now, let's make this model disintegrate. To do so, I will use the Disintegrate 2 preset. But I will add its effects to the existing effects. So I will press the load button while holding Ctrl. All the newly added effects are synchronized with the effect named Up. So I will change the start frame of this effect to 320. And this is the final animation. It's rendered in EV. I only added motion blur. Thanks for watching.